Hey dudes, Alicia Rossi Productions here, and today I'm gonna read the worst Thomas creepypastas uh, like um out there. So yeah, so I watched PhantomStrider some video on creepypastas, and I thought if I do something like similar to that, like reading like these horrible creepypastas. Not horrible as in scary, just horrible in like writing and whatnot. So yeah. And so if any of you like writers of these creepypastas like are watching this, like please don't take my criticism to heart. It's just my silly personal opinion. So yeah, let's get started. All right. So the first creepypasta we're gonna read now is Thomas episode 01. And it was appears that it was made by this person, Thomas and Friends 7, and we're gonna read it now. Okay. Well, months ago, I found a tape, which was a Thomas tape, which I shouldn't have found. This was what happened. In June 2016, thanks showing like the year there offer, I was on vacation and I was playing Super Mario 64 DS. Later, we went at the hotel next. We went to Chick-fil-A. When we went to the door, I found a strange tape. It was a Thomas the Tank Engine tape. It said Thomas episode 01. It was so weird, but they took it anyway. While I was at home alone that day, I was ready to see the Thomas tape. I hope it's good. This was what showed up to me. What showed up to me was static. Dick. Always static. Then, a picture of Thomas smiling came up. It was up for 2 seconds and it was gone. Then it showed a scene from Foolish Freight Cars when James sat in the shed. He was crying, and not fake crying, realistic crying. Okay, he said in an angry tone, I hate my life. I was so scared. Why would James say that? It then cut to another scene from Tenders and Turntables. James spun around the turntable and he flew away. That sounds more comical than like scary. Then it cut to Thomas shunting trucks. He fronts the trucks by saying he will burn them. Then it cut to Henry at the station, sad. His eyes were black. I then heard the screaming sounds from Food.WMB and Suicide Mouse. I was so scared. Aired. The picture faded. It cut to James, which was thinking about blowing up himself. I was so scared. He took a bomb, OMG, from Mario, and somehow crushed himself and his face fell off. That sounds more funny than, like, scary. Again, this began to creep me out. It cut to static and showed Thomas with a sad expression on his face with bloodshot eyes. It cut to static and completely ended the episode. All I had to say was, what the heck? Who would make this? Well, I had a nightmare about the tape that I was in it. The engines were there. There was James in front of me. He blew up himself in front of me. It completely scared me off. My dream was over. Well, if you spot the tape, don't watch it or pick me up. The real episode 1 was called Thomas Gets Strict, Thomas and Gordon in the UK, which is not a creepypasta and none of this happened. Ooh. Ooh. What do I have to say about this, like, creepypasta? Well, it's kinda shit. Like, it doesn't have, like, at least it doesn't, like, have, like, any, like, blood, except it says James thinking about like suicide, which it says he blows himself with a bomb. It's just more funny than scary, if because why would he like blow himself up? It's just not creepy, it's just stupid. Alright, so oh yeah. Okay, so the next one is this creepypasta called All Aboard the Dead Team, Steamies versus Diesel's creepypasta. And I don't know who made this story. It's not like it doesn't say it anywhere, but whatever. Maybe it says it here. I don't know. Whatever. So let's get into it.
I will never look at Thomas and Friends the same again after what I have seen.
How I got it. I was in a Goodwill and I found this Steamies vs. Diesel's VHS tape. There was no spine or back to the cardboard's case, so I just thought whatever. The VHS tape. Once I came home, I powered my VCR, shoved the tape into the player, and it started. The Thomas intro was in reverse and the sky was red throughout the whole video. I didn't take much notice, and I kept watching. The episode Thomas to the Rescue had no narration, and it skipped to the part where Diesel was boasting about his new fuel. Thomas had an evil grin on his face. Instead of Diesel breaking down, he exploded! So did Mavis. I saw blood and leftover parts from the Diesels and left, and smoke was everywhere. It just ended right after with Thomas laughing in an evil way. I wanted to throw up, but instead I grabbed the tape and tossed it into the garbage. I don't know if I could ever look at Thomas the tank engine the same way again. Wow, this was another piece of like a shit. It's like another case of just trying to be scary but end up being like funny, like hilarious. Like if I saw like a Thomas the Tank Engine like character exploding, I would just laugh. Like explosions are not even funny. Well, they are sometimes funny. What I meant to say was they're not scary. So, yeah, this was just like bad. It's so short. Like at least it's short, but it's still bad. Let's continue to the next one. Okay, so the next one is Thomas and Friends 1999 Magic Railroad Test. And apparently this is like a sequel to another creepypasta that I might read in like some sort of like chapter 2 to this video, and let me know if you want a part 2 to this like video, please. That would be awesome. At first, hi, this is Thomas Bobo. Well, hi, Offer. This is the second account because I have suspended the account I was using before. I'm glad that some people enjoyed the pasta before. This pasta may not be good as the previous pasta, but take a look. Look, I'm a Japanese Thomas fan. One day, when I went to the flea market, I bought various Thomas merchandises. Among them was an old VHS. The name was Thomas the Tank Engine Special VHS. I asked the seller where I got this VHS. She said I got it from an acquaintance when I was in British. My child liked Thomas, so the Tank Engine, so I watched it a lot, but there was a scary scene in some of this VHS. I stopped watching because it was there. I thanked the seller and I went to looking for the next merchandise. When I got home, the time was 3:40 p.m. I took a picture of the item and I bought it and shared it on SNS. After that, I tried to play the purchased VHS with the old VHS player that I still use. Then the trailer of Thomas and the Magic Railroad was played. It was the same as the trailer for Japanese subtitles in Doraemon's VHS. At the end of the trailer, the title B-roll footage of Thomas and the Magic Railroad came out and some 1999 footage was played. At this point I was very excited. I never thought I could see so many TATMR deleted footage. But there the problem was. When the video finished playing, a strange video started to flow. Diesel 10 is in the scrapyard and is loading scrap on the truck. Diesel 10 said, "The engine you love is about to end." Sorry if I couldn't get a Neil Crone or another. Who was the guy who voiced Diesel 10 in the CGI series? Whatever, I'm not doing any Diesel 10 impressions, sorry. Then Pinji will come towards the screen and cover the camera. Then the text was displayed, Thomas and the Rainbow Railway coming soon. And fun fact, Thomas and the Rainbow Railway was the original title for this movie, so that's a fun fact for you. What is this? It was a very scary sound and footage. Yeah, I hope you improve on your grammar, Offer. But perhaps this is an early trailer. Remember there was some horror episodes in season 5? In contrast, you can see that the atmosphere is clearly similar. This may be a trailer that was cancelled because it was too scary for the child. In fact, P.T. Boomer was a character that was removed because it was too scary for kids, and Diesel 10 wasn't removed, but there are still kids who are scared. As the seller said, this was a very scary scene, but for some serious reason, I was always excited. I became scared of myself. I also noticed the notation 1998 below the text that appears at the end of the trailer. I couldn't rip VHS, so I fixed the camera and shot this video, and when I uploaded to YouTube there was a lot of cheering. I still think about this trailer, but I still love it because it was removed and it must have been a great shoot. And the fact that Cranky, Edward, and George were shown in the B-roll footage video was the most shocking thing. Okay, so I hope you keep improving Thomas Bobo. I hope you keep making better creepypastas and maybe more ones that are scarier or something. This was not scary, it was it's bad, but it's okay. So I'm not gonna be mean to you. So if you are hating on this guy, just don't, because I will cancel you. Okay. And surprisingly, this is one of these it doesn't have any of these long list of categories like some of the other pages on this thingy. So yeah, that's applause right there. So let's move on to the final pasta of the video. Okay, so the next one is Thomas and Friends' last episode, Smudger's Revenge. Well, that's a promising title. Let's see what it has in store for us. Have you ever heard of Thomas the Tank Engine? No, I haven't. If you have been around little kids between the ages of 2 and around 7 or so, I'm sure you have. I loved Thomas so much I could name every single train, knew what color they were and the number they had on them. Anyways, it was a week after watching Cars 2 in theaters. Cars 2 was not a good sequel to the Cars movie because it focuses very often on Mater instead of McQueen. Yeah, well, I kinda liked Cars 2, so I respect your opinion. I didn't like the movie because it can get rather dark for children despite its G rating. Rod Redline gets tortured and subsequently murdered by Professor C by putting gasoline in him that subsequently explodes and incinerates him, or Finn exploding a ship with tiny explosives. This is likely the film that caused many animated films after this to have a PG rating. And there was one with an R rating as well, so yeah. I hate Professor C. I wish he was run over by Gordon for doing this. Since the first race was in Japan, I decided to look up the VHS dub of old Thomas episodes, and it was popular in that country. But come on, like first you talked about Thomas, then Cars 2, and now Thomas again. Just what? Okay. As it was rather popular in that country, and the new episodes that showed on TV are complete crap. So after watching most of the episodes on Nico, I don't know what that is, but whatever, I found another video. The name of the video was Thomas and Children Get On. Being the idiot I am, I clicked on it. I thought it was probably a screamer or something, but I clicked on it anyway. I was bored enough to click on the video and watch it. I totally forgot about looking for the old episodes. The video had poor quality. Maybe just have it on whatever. And the episode itself was pretty much forgotten by the writers. Like every episode, it started with the theme song. The episode started with Thomas told to take a group of children to the seaside by instructions Officer Topham had. Wow, totally not ripped off from another creepypasta. Congratulations. I noticed something was wrong. There was no narrator in this episode. The episode then showed Thomas picking up the little children with Annie and Clairbo, his twin coaches, and it showed every single one of them climb on board. Then there was a scene with him zooming down the rails like he always did, and the kids were cheering. But up ahead, Professor C was stuck on the level crossing, moaning for someone to help him. This is when the episode got strange. Professor C stared at Thomas in fear, but Thomas just smiled and sped up. He laughed, and the kids were crying with tears coming down from their faces. Immediately, Thomas crashed into him, and pieces of both of them flew everywhere. Usually by now, the narrator would say, Google, translate, please. Oh, how cool. It's like Japanese for luckily no one was hurt. Like, that's really creative. Good job. Okay, let's get back to the pasta. Normally, usually by now, the narrator would say no one was hurt, but there was no reassurance for the kids. The episode then showed what happened inside the coaches. Limbs were broken off. What looked like actual blood and gore have been splattered everywhere. We see brief shots of their heads ripped off and tears still on their faces. Originality, please. Everything went to static. After that, I felt myself boiling over with anger. What sicko would create something that messed up for little kids? Then I closed the window. A full blue screen with a message started to appear on the screen. It said, "You're dead, your friends are dead, your children are dead, your freaking pets are being skinned alive. Lady's a freaking whore, you suck at life, the whole world hates you, you're going to hell, live with it. Game over." Totally not ripped off from like the angry video game nerd or whatever. The computer then shut down itself completely. As I went to sleep, I had a nightmare that I was in the episode. I was running around my neighborhood and Sundep was able to chase me. He yelled, "You're not getting away from me. I'm gonna rip your organs and feed them to the hyenas." I must say, ever since then, I'll never look at cars the same way ever again. even when I'm walking through a store that sells cars merchandising, I think Sir Miles Axelrod and his minions are out to get me. However, I still watch Thomas to this day. The end. Jesus! Like, this was just bad. Like, there was, like, no originality on it. It's just a ripoff of Thomas and the Children. And just, like, it's a Thomas creepypasta, but it talks about Cars 2. And, like, it says Smudger's Revenge, but Smudger doesn't even appear on this, like, this pasta. Like, it's just Professor C. Like, you thought Salmon Nation or Pogo's Pizzeria or FNAF's, like, clickbait videos were, like, bad. Like, but this is just a whole another level. Just, so, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure